people all morning. The Fox 61 Morning News starts now.
Right now at 6, a weather watch alert. High heat and humidity today, followed by a chance for scattered showers and severe thunderstorms tomorrow. The details next.
And the holiday travel rush is on all across the country. What to expect if you're taking flight or hitting the roads.
Also, engine trouble over the New Haven skies led a pilot to land a plane right in the Quinnipiac River. I'll tell you what officials say they are concerned about right now.
Good morning. It's Friday. It's July 1st. Thanks for being with us. We are starting with a weather watch alert. Thanks for being with us. I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Yeah, there are going to be some storms this weekend, but hey, first things first, the heat and the humidity back in time for the holiday weekend. So let us talk about that in a second, because there's more breaking news on the roads and in the airports. Look at this in Waterbury. Lauren's going to have more on this problem on I-84 in a moment. And as you can see, people getting ready to go where they're going for their barbecues. Windsor Locks, Bradley Airport, looking fairly busy here at 6:01 as millions of people expected to hit the roads and the skies across the country.
Yeah, Julia LeBlanc is going to have more on that. Speaking of the big holiday weekend, what's the weather going to be like here in Connecticut? We've got meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli joining us. Hey, happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday. We made it to Friday, the long weekend.
Yeah.
Looking pretty decent. So unfortunately, tomorrow we are bringing in that chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms, and one or two of those could be on the stronger side.
Right.
So that's the day where you want to be weather aware. But in the meantime, today, it is going to be very hot and very humid. We're already starting off anywhere from 2 to even 5 or 6 degrees warmer than we were this time yesterday. So we're in the 60s right now. 67 in Hartford, 63 in Groton, 61 in Norwich, 64 in New Haven, and 61 in New Milford. But notice the dew points. When you see dew point numbers that are 1 or 2 degrees above 60, that's where you start to really feel the humidity when you're stepping out the door. And you're seeing that 66 in Chester. We already rose a couple of degrees up in Torrington. So through the day today, we are tracking a mix of sun and clouds in the afternoon. Winds out of the south to southwest, about 5 to even an occasional gust of 15 miles per hour, turning a bit breezy overnight. High temperatures expected to make it into the 90s across inland locations, upper 80s expected along the Connecticut shoreline. Now we are watching a chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms to develop into the afternoon tomorrow. Much more on that coming up in my full forecast. But right now we want to get a check out on the roads. Lauren, I know you're following a problem in Waterbury.
Yeah, on the eastbound side of I-84, right between exits 23 and 25, there is a overturned tractor trailer, but one of our photojournalists, Freddie, is actually live on scene of the crash. He happened to be in the backup of traffic. These are some live pictures. It looks as though it is completely mangled and in half, but our photographer says he thinks he saw the driver sitting on the side of a guardrail, but you could just see the damage right there. Police and fire are on scene right now, and cars are being brought essentially in between the two pieces of the tractor trailer. So haven't been able to get any other information from Connecticut State Police, but we will continue to follow this closely because we are anticipating that this is going to create some heavy delays on the eastbound side of I-84. I anticipate also when they go to clean this up that there might potentially be a shutdown of 84 East. So definitely stick with us here on the Fox 61 Morning News, and we'll of course keep you up to date all morning long. Moving on, we do have another crash in East Hartford on the eastbound side of I-84 at exit 55. Let's take a live look out there where the DOT has put out there that it is a tractor trailer versus one vehicle. We have seen a tow truck on scene. Hopefully this will be cleared soon. Not causing a huge delay on the eastbound side of I-84, but overall it's just a little bit of a headache. New Haven looking good this morning. We'll have an update on the rails and the skies coming up. Julia LeBlanc is going to be at Bradley International Airport in just a little bit. Yes, and speaking of that, we are sending things over to Julia right now. Good morning, Julia. How's it looking over there? Looks pretty busy.
Hi. Hi, Lauren. Yeah, it is pretty busy. We're actually, believe it or not, in what I think is a little bit of a lull right now, but just about an hour ago, that's when things really picked up here at Bradley. We saw large lines here at TSA and also people just hanging around the airport here at Bradley, and that is what is anticipated by AAA for this whole weekend. They're expecting an increase in flights over the holiday weekend despite inflation and rising gas prices. People are also taking to the roads as well. They do expect 2.77 million New Englanders to travel 50 miles or more over the weekend, and that number is up from the last year. The most popular way to get around, they say, is by car, with up to 2.4 million choosing that option. 179,000 will be traveling by plane, and 105,000 will be using other ways to get around.
With all of the pent-up travel energy, with those that have canceled travel plans over the course of the last 2 years, they are not letting anything get in their way this year.
Yeah, we just talked to a traveler actually, and he's been traveling quite a lot within the last 2 years, especially within the last few months. He just retired. He says none of those prices are impacting his ability to get around, or rather his will to still travel. He's from Connecticut, heading to and from North Carolina right now, so he says none of that really impacting him. We are expecting from AAA, from the data, that today is going to be the busiest flying day when it comes to the holiday weekend. Monday will be the slowest, again, when it comes to the flights. And as far as getting out on the roads, well, we know that Connecticut State Police will be out in full force, keeping everybody safe this weekend as well. We are live at Bradley this morning. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61 News.
Okay, Julia, thank you. All right, taking care of the airs. Now let's talk about the roads. And a reminder, if you fill your car with diesel, it is going to get more expensive starting today, although that has not yet been reflected here in AAA's gas survey. This currently has prices dropping to just under $6.07 a gallon. But if you add in the 9 more cents a gallon from this new tax that takes effect today, then of course we'd be looking at $6.16 a gallon. As for regular gas prices, they are still on their slow decline this morning, as the average stands at $4.81, down about 1.5 pennies from yesterday, and down about 8 cents a gallon from a week ago. Remember, the state's gas tax holiday for this gas ends now in December. It was supposed to end today, but that got extended by the state legislature. Well, happening today, the CT, Department of Transportation, and state and local police are launching what's known as a high-visibility anti-speeding enforcement effort. They didn't say exactly what that entails, but they did say it's a multi-state effort that's going to last all the way through Labor Day. The state said it's quite necessary. They said traffic deaths in Connecticut are up 25% from this time last year. Now, state police almost always step up the number of patrols and cruisers out over the roads over the holiday weekends, especially if it's a holiday like July 4th, where people like to drink. Now, Fox 61 went on a ride-along with state police this week and told us all the warning signs of impaired driving that they're looking for.
As we're driving, we try to observe, cars that are driving extremely slow on the highway, cars that are going extremely fast, or someone who can't maintain his lane and swerving in and out of his lane.
So remember, you can actually help stop yourself from speeding even before you get in the car by leaving a little earlier to get where you're going, so there's more time, there's no time crunch. Also, please be patient and respectful out there, because everybody else is just trying to get somewhere safely as well.
And safety doesn't end out there on the roads. It's also being enforced on the water. DEEP officers are going to be out there monitoring boaters. They're making sure that people are not operating under the influence over this long holiday weekend. This is happening in their Operation Dry Water Enforcement. They're going to be out there on rivers, lakes, ponds, and even the Long Island Sound. Right now, a small plane making an emergency landing in the Quinnipiac River in New Haven. 2 people inside the Beechcraft Bonanza and their dog escaped without getting injured. Officials say the pilot radioed the tower at Tweed New Haven Airport after their engine started sputtering, but they were unable to make it back to the airport and landed in the river near the Grand Avenue Bridge. Officials are now looking into the potential environmental impact of this.
The plane has fuel in it, and this is a sensitive environmental area. There's a lot of oyster beds in the area of the Quinnipiac River.
The NTSB and the FAA are now investigating the cause of the crash. The plane was headed to New Bedford, Massachusetts from Florida. Happening today all across our state, several new laws are going into effect, ranging on issues such as your paycheck and public health and safety.
Okay, so let's start with one of the most talked about, the state's minimum wage. It is now raising by $1 an hour up to $14 per hour. Connecticut is now tied as having the 6th highest minimum wage in the country. It's part of a law passed back in 2019 that will raise the minimum wage in increments over a 5-year period.
Starting today, the use of solitary confinement will be limited. The law codifies a previous executive order issued last year. Per the new law, a prisoner being held in a state facility can only be in isolated confinement for a maximum of 15 consecutive days or 30 days total within a 60-day period.
Well, starting today, Connecticut's police accountability regulations will also be expanding when it comes to body cameras. All sworn members of law enforcement and members of those units who perform police duties will be required to wear body cameras. It also requires each police unit to use dashboard cameras with a remote recorder in each patrol vehicle.
Plenty more that you can check out and learn about when it comes to Connecticut's new laws. Again, they're going into effect today. Right now, you can scan the QR code on your screen with your smartphone and then just tap on the link, and you can download the free Fox 61 News app to your device. And you can also check out fox61.com to learn more there as well.